areas. But when we started doing these seminars together, and when we would get with the men, and then my wife and Kathy would team up and spend some time with the women. I don't know, maybe I was naive, but I was shocked. I mean, I was shocked and overwhelmed at even really, really good marriages where this is the tension. I mean, when there's arguments, it's about sex. When there's power plays, it's around sex. A lot of great couples that I remember up in the northwestern part of the United States. I did a seminar up there, and I walked out after the middle time where we did this, and an older couple, they've been married over 40 years, and they smiled, they got me to the side, they thanked me, and they thanked my wife, and they said, we gave them a little inventory where it was safe, but they kind of ranked and talked about sexual intimacy. And that couple said it's the first time ever in 40 plus years they'd ever talked about sexual issues.
Well, I think that churches in general have not done a great job of really teaching and helping couples have a good biblical perspective on sex, and then just giving practical help and just talking about it.
Yeah.
Just talking about it openly, because what that does is that helps you know that, well, we're not the only ones that struggle in this area, and it's there's help available, and we're not weird, and we're not somehow terribly unspiritual because we've experienced some tension in this area. And so that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to talk about it because it's a big part of life, and it should be talked about, and we want to help people understand what God says about it, and just help them have that intimacy that God intends.
Well, let's jump right into it, and here's the format. We're going to talk about, and this is not exhaustive. I mean, we could come up with multiple more, but we're going to talk about the top 5 things that the average man wished his wife understood about sex. Number 1, ladies, the man in your life wished you understood that sex is more important to him than you ever dreamed. Let me repeat that. He wants you to know that sex is more important to him than you ever dreamed, that it is a big one. It's not a side issue. It's not some little thing. It's not a part of your relationship. In fact, on his bad days, it is so intermeshed with everything that he feels and is and thinks that he really wants you to know he's not weird.
Right, that's true, and that doesn't make him strange or wrong or spiritually immature, or that's all part of how God made us. And it's also, in some sense, a product of the world in which we live, that because we are bombarded by sexual stimulation a lot, that there's just that sense that the way God made us as men, our sexual aspect of is so tied into our identity.
Yes.
It's so tied into our identity, how we think of ourselves as men, and that wives just know that that's a fact. And don't think that your husband is somehow wrong or less than spiritual, because that's true about him.
Right. What I want to say on behalf of your husband is being a godly wife, loving God, being a tremendous mother, keeping the house clean, cooking good meals, doing a lot of things that you think, now this is what it means to be a godly woman. What he wants you to hear, I believe what God wants you to hear, is that the sexual relationship you have with your husband is right up there at the very top of all those other things. In other words, you can't compartmentalize and say, maybe because of past experience, or maybe because of a wrong or unbiblical view of sex, or maybe it's like, it's just him, and we're doing well in 4 out of 5 areas, or 5 out of 6. What I want you to know, if sex is one that you're not doing well in, it colors every aspect of your relationship. Just as we told wives,
right,
that love, romance, and relationship, we told the husbands, you can't separate that from sex. What you need to understand, women, your husband can't separate life and relationship from sex.
And I don't want the women to.
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.